pussy, it's my boo. I could make $250,000 off a haiku, and I could make another quarter off at times too.
Fam, how y'all doing? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Mentally, I am sound. I am clear. Emotionally, I feel good. I'm not overstimulated. I'm not stressed out. I'm not worried. Just emotionally, we are well. Spiritually, praise God. Praise God for clarity, for wisdom, for conviction, which is very, very difficult, but praise God for it, because conviction shows God's love for you. It shows you that He loves you enough to correct you. So, you know, there's that. And then physically, listen, physically, we've been it's been a little rough here physically. Well, I don't want to say rough. It's been a little bit challenging. I get my blood work done on Thursday because your girl, I'm just feeling just sluggish and run down and tired. Outside of that though, I'm straight. I'm Gucci. All is well. I am heading over to my friend Shay's house because I am helping her with her diet, nutrition, and training. So I've been coaching her. I've been training with her for how long? I want to say we've been training together for at least 2 months now. I'm so proud of Shay because already on her own, I believe she says she's already lost 75 pounds on her own. And so now she hit me up the other day. Well, she came into the salon and we were talking about this past Friday. I'll post her little makeup not makeup transformation, just her makeup look that we did. First of all, Shay is like my day one, just simply because she is someone who encouraged me to go to beauty school. She was my model for everything. Anytime I need to do something for hair, anytime I want to do something for makeup. So she has literally been with me since inception, and we have gone through all sorts of different looks and whatnot. So I love her so much with all my heart. However, she came in Friday after the makeup look. Well, before the makeup look, we were just, talking. She was telling me about what her goals are, and she was saying that she just really wants to get intentional. She really wants to crack down, drop some body fat. And whenever I have these conversations with a potential client, my first question to them is, are you willing to do what it takes? Because a lot of the times people like the idea of getting into shape or losing a lot of body fat, but they don't quite understand exactly what it could take. So we had that hard conversation on Friday, and I was like, look, if this is what you truly want to do, if this is what your heart is desiring, if this is your end result, there are certain things that need to be in place. You need to track every single thing that goes into your mouth. For her, it's more so the nutrition aspect that she struggles with, just like, eating the food, getting the food in. But that's the thing, when you are trying to be super strategic about weight loss, you can't be giving round figures or guessing what you had or how much it was. You need to weigh everything that goes into your mouth. The reason being is because that's your data. How can I make adjustments if I don't have accuracy with what you're putting in your mouth? So that is what we're going over to do today. She's already a little bit nervous about the whole macro situation. However, I am going to show her and guide her, and then hopefully, maybe this can be a guide for anyone else who's maybe struggling with macros. I know a lot of my clients always struggle with macros at first. I was there too. I struggled with it as well. The reason why I do macros and don't do meal plans is because a meal plan does not teach you how to eat. A lot of people become a slave to the meal plan, and then once the meal plan is gone, they don't know how to eat. And this is something that I'm very passionate about, just simply because understanding how to eat should be a life skill, period. And then also on the flip side of that, even when you are, like, let's say if you are done tracking, whatever the case may be, you still need to understand what foods work for your body, because we can't live in a constant state of a caloric deficit. We can't live in a constant state of always tracking our food in MyFitnessPal. I have not tracked my food in MyFitnessPal since December, and it is now mid-February. I'm going to do a full day of intuitive eating coming up, because again, that is also something else that I feel is very important. You need to know how to eat without tracking as well. So heading over to Shay's house, you guys are going to come along, and I'm just going to talk to her and teach her. I think it'll be cool to actually for y'all to see me teaching her and showing her versus me just telling y'all. So all right, fam, so we are with Shay. She already went grocery shopping. What did you get already, Shay?
I got turkey, I got ground turkey. I got spinach, vegetables, salad, eggs, yogurt. What else did I say? Oh, rice cakes.
Rice cakes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I think that's it.
Okay, so I'm gonna show her how to track her food in My Fitness Pal because that's how we do it. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do is set up her macros in her phone. So if you are one of my clients, my lifestyle clients, you know how I do things through my website. Everyone has their own page. It's specifically for them. It's passwords and password protected. And this is where I do all the updates at. So Sherretta's current macros, she is at 127 grams of protein, 134 grams of carbs, and 36 grams of fat, which has her at 1,379 calories. Now, Shay knows this is very low. Shay knows that these numbers need to go up because if we don't eat, we don't get a peach. And if you want a peach, and if you're trying to be sexy this summer and have a peach, you gotta eat. The reason why this is crucial is because a lot of people always want to jump right into fat loss, right? However, if you are at poverty calories, i.e. 1,100 calories, how do we go low from that? You're already fairly low. So the goal is to build up the food, and it seems counterproductive because people always want to jump into weight loss. However, you got to fuel the body. You got to get your metabolism going because the issue is a lot of women are either underworked, overworked, undernourished, doing too much, not sleeping, not recovering, restricting heavily, and then on the weekends when they eat, they throw down. So you got to get your metabolism at a good place. So part of that is slowly increasing the food. And then of course you have your exercise that goes into it, but 80% of it is nutrition. You can go to the gym all you want. You can't out-train a poor diet. So the first thing we're going to do is go into My Fitness Pal. I'm just going to show her how to adjust her macros.
Maybe open and close and open and reopen.
Hold on, I don't be in your business.
You have the camera on. Now watch my mouth.
We're Christian ladies over here.
Uh-huh.
Are y'all saved like us? That's an inside joke. Saved like
They're
us?
not saved like us.
They're not saved like us. Okay. So this is your home screen here. Oh, you already got it?
Yeah, I had put those when you gave them to me.
Perfect. Okay, so let's do a little adjustment then. Let me bump you to...
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. A's right. Let's do... Oh, wait. No. Those were your old macros. Okay, I was about to say that. Okay, so those were your macros from December 4th. Got it. So your new macros should be... I thought I gave you more food than that.
Well, I hadn't updated it since you first gave me the... No.
I got you. Okay, so your carbs should be 200. She tricked me.
I didn't necessarily...
Tricked me.
How do I do this? Here?
So where it says macros right there, and then hit carbs.
This. Two.
There you go. All right, so she's making her carbs 200. Her proteins 135.
How do I do that though? It's not. It's like 50%.
Oh, hit grams. I'm sorry.
Oh, see. Okay, now 200.
Proteins 135.
135.
And fat 50. So those previous macros before that were in the basement, that was my way of meeting her where she's at. Because here's the thing, like whenever you're coaching somebody, of course you have an idea of where you want them to be. However, I don't ever like to make things so daunting to people, because if someone is already struggling to get food in, and then here you come saying, well, here you go, I'm going to have you eat 150 more grams than what you're used to, and they can't even hit the small threshold that they're at, set people up for a win. So those were her old macros. Now she's at 1,790 calories. This is a good place to be. This is a good place to be. as she dramatically palms her face.
I internally melt. I'm back.
All right, so now that she's got that, and we're using My Fitness Pal. I don't know if I said that. My Fitness Pal, sponsor your girl. What's good? All right, so now I'm going to show her how to weigh her food. So first, log food. This is where everything is going to go. Yes, I eat way more food than you. You won't eat as much as me.
You got to tell me. No, I won't.
My calories are at 2,310. That's a lot of food.
Some things you ain't even got to worry about, sweetheart.
Like, I prefer to be like at 2,000, 2,100, but mine are this high for bodybuilding purposes. However, at the top here, that's going to show you your macros, and then it's got all your categories. So first things first, whenever we weigh things, food, weigh it in grams. Okay. The reason being is because it's just the most accurate. So anything that you're eating, weigh it in grams. Anything that you're drinking, weigh it in milliliters. Some people don't like weighing their protein in grams. Again, they like to do it in ounces. Either way, I just say keep everything in grams because it's easy. So for instance, like let's say if you're eating 4 ounces of chicken, then the 4 ounces of chicken is going to translate to like, I don't know, 100, I think it's like 114 grams, somewhere in there. But here's the thing with that. So you need a scale, all right? This is actually my little travel scale that I use.
Cute.
Right? So.
Hi.
All right, so let's go ahead.
Does it count the weight of the bowl?
So here's what we're going to do first. Give me a bowl.
Because like we use this bowl.
Oh, perfect.
Since it has the rice in it.
Well, give me an empty bowl. First thing you want to do is make sure you have your accurate measure. So we want it in grams. So you're going to put your bowl on. It's going to weigh the bowl first.
645 grams.
So then you want to make sure you zero it out.
This bowl heavy. You ain't getting it.
All right, so now it's zeroed out. So she's going to go ahead. She's going to take her jasmine rice here.
Good old jasmine rice.
Perfect. All right, so she's got 90 grams of jasmine rice here, okay? So now what she's going to do is she's going to go to My Fitness Pal.
And then log food.
Yep, we're already there. So now at the top, now you're going to search your food at the top.
I might want to spell it right. Jasmine. Steamed jasmine rice.
Okay, so now here is crucial. So it already does like whatever the pre-formatted is. You want to click that and change it to gram.
How do you do this right here?
All right, and then where it has the 1, you're just going to put your 90 in.
Probably
Yeah, there we go.
0.90. Or should I just
No, just do 90. Yeah. Perfect. All right, so that's how you log your food. So like sometimes I'll use the rice in the bag because I'm lazy, and there's an option where you can scan it. So you can just scan the back of it, and then the information will come up. But what you'll have to do is switch it to grams because they always have their pre-settings in there. But let's go back to this screen here. So you have your jasmine rice in there. It'll show you the full breakdown. So in 90 grams of your jasmine rice, you have 15.9 grams of carbs. There's no fat in jasmine rice, and you have 1.3 grams of protein and 90 grams of jasmine rice. This is crucial because especially when it gets to the protein, this is when people get really confused. So let's say you're having chicken. So go ahead and search chicken breast for me.
Chicken breast. Chicken breast.
And let's say we've already weighed it. Let's say it's 120 grams.
Does it matter how it's cooked? On here? Like what
so with your settings, try to use...
Because it's like cooked, raw.
Yeah, cooked. Okay, so you are at 135 grams of protein. So this throws people off because they're like, well, wait a second. If I've weighed 120 grams of my chicken breast and I only have 135 grams of protein, I'm almost done. No, you're not. That's not how it goes. So the 120 grams that you weighed is just how much for the volume of that chicken that you weighed. So when you go here, hit that, you'll have to change that to 1 gram and then put 120 in there. So within your weighed out 120 grams of chicken breast, there's 37.2 grams of protein in it.
Okay.
See what I mean? Because I know that tricks people up sometimes. We're like, well, dang, all my protein for a day is gone. No, it's not, because within that 120 grams of chicken breast, you have 37 grams of protein, 4.3 grams of fat.
And 0 carbs.
And 0 carbs, all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is why whenever I have someone starting to track their macros, I never have them track their macros all 3 at the same time, because it's daunting. It's a lot. So I always say focus on just tracking the protein first, because if you can master the protein, then when you pull in the other 2, it'll be way easier for you to understand it. Because again, like, you have to account for, okay, well, let's say if you have your fat set at a certain place, like this is what always gets me when I'm prepping and I get my property macros and my fats get down to like 20 grams. Yeah, so that means I'm not eating avocado, I'm not eating cashews, all my fat's coming from my protein sources. So therefore, I have to be very, very meticulous and have to have proteins that are lower in fat, so that way I don't go over. And so what happens is, if you're my client and you're watching this, you know, a lot of y'all be ended up playing macro Tetris at the end of the day.
Well, I told you, that was the thing that confused me. That's why I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't know what these numbers mean.
So the goal is, before you go to bed, plug your food in for the next day. So that way you already have, so let's say I did this on Sunday night. I went ahead and plugged in the majority of my food that I knew I was going to eat yesterday. So that way when I woke up, I already got it here. I don't have to sit there and fool around with it, because that gets frustrating.
Yes, it does.
It's like, oh, well, hold on. Well, now I got to figure out this and I got to weigh that. No, do it the night before. And so that's why people, like, there's always a discrepancy where people are like, well, I don't want to do macros. I want to do a meal plan. It's the same-ish.
Okay.
All you're doing is you're taking your macros and you make your own meal plan. So what I do is, whenever I check in with my coach, I check in on Thursdays. And if she makes any adjustments to my macros, I'll go ahead and make my meal plan, and I'll eat the same thing for about 4 days or a week. And if anything changes, I just adjust that way. The reason why I like doing that is because you get consistency.
Okay.
And that's the thing, like, some people really struggle with, oh, well, I don't want to eat the same thing. When you have a goal, especially when it's a weight loss goal and you're trying to really dial it in, that's when the consistency matters. Because let's say if you're eating the same thing and then maybe you throw something new and you're like, my stomach feels crazy, you know what it is. Or maybe that didn't digest properly. Or you know what, I don't think this is really jiving with me, because some people do better with higher fat and lower carbs. Like, I don't do well with high fat.
Okay.
High fat, I feel big as a boat.
I don't do well with high fat either.
So if you are struggling, if you feel like, oh my God, like I'm struggling, I can't ever figure it out, put all your food in the day before. So that way the next morning it's done for you. And that's the other thing too, like all of this, you have to plan ahead, but you're very organized.
Yeah, I have to do it. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you're very organized. It's tricky for the people who aren't organized. And what happens is when you don't plan it, you're like, oh, well, I'll just go to Chipotle and I'll get this. But what happens is, while there's nothing wrong with that Chipotle bowl, you don't know nothing.
And it's heavy.
It's
too.
heavy.
It's a lot.
You know, because I know sometimes I'll say just a little bit of rice, walk up, and I'm like, yo, that's like 300 grams of rice right there. I don't need that much.
It usually takes me 2 days to eat one bowl from Chipotle.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I can't do it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and make her a meal plan for the next couple of days. So she's going to do it according to the protein. Oh, that's pretty. According to the protein.
You recognize the makeup?
Oh, I did that?
Yes.
Oh.
That's pretty. It should be. It's your work.
No, not that. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and make her protein meal plan for the next couple of days. Because, like I said, right now she's just tracking protein.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good question.
So I asked her, when you're counting calorie, well, we don't really count calories, but if you're going to count the food, do you consider seasoning, like any extra calories that might come from?
No, if you're just seasoning your food, I don't count it.
Okay.
The only time, and again, this is going to make a difference with how serious are you? Are you just like, yeah, whatever, I'm just trying to have better, healthy eating habits? Okay, cool. You can be way more lenient.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're trying to really be down to the wire and lose some weight, when it comes to like coffee creamers, weigh those. Because those little calories, that stuff adds up. But like if you're just using like, you know, Himalayan salt, pepper, like things like that, you don't have to weigh it.
Okay.
And then sometimes too, like if I'm eating kale, lettuce, or I don't ever weigh those. I mean, it's water.
Really, it's water.
It's just
Okay.
water.
Well, so my salads ain't gonna count.
Yeah. But then, okay, green beans, those have carbs. You'll weigh those. The only thing, like I said, I only never weigh kale, my salads, everything else.
I sure was gonna count them salads.
And you can count them, but it's not
It won't be much.
not gonna be much to count.
Okay. All right.
And then, of course, if you're using salad dressings, you want to measure out those. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But so how do I count the salad dressing if I'm not going to count the lettuce?
So easy. What you're going to do, you're going to get out your little handy scale.
Mm-hmm.
And let's do this. Do you have any salad dressing in here?
Yep.
Perfection. Okay. Just about to blow your mind. So scan it in.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Boom, there it is.
Oh, wow.
And they'll tell you, so you just measure out if you want to do the whole 2 tablespoons or if you want to, break it down.
Bet.
Simple.
Okay. All right.
You can do that with your coffee creamer, like anything that has a label, you can do that.
Okay.
And of course, if you need to adjust it, then you'll have to manually go in and change the numbers.
So I know that I'm going to have ground turkey.
Start off with 100 grams for you. And you'll probably up it, but I think that would be a good starting point.
100 grams on here?
Of ground turkey, it's not much. It's not even 4 ounces.
It just sounds like so much.
It sounds crazy. I wish you had some so we could weigh it out so you could see.
It's not cooked, but yeah. Okay, so 100. Okay, and then I have. Oh, I can scan this. Shouldn't do it. Be better than me, kids. But it's a busy week. So.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Sometimes you make you do what you do. Like I tell people, you want to have 80% whole foods, right? 80% things that aren't packaged. And we're human. Like sometimes some stuff is easier. So like if you need to do like the deli meat like that, that's fine.
Yeah. Like for this, 2 ounces is the serving size. Yeah. Oh, they already have it in there. Okay. Those are my 2 main sources of protein outside of
And then whenever you get your protein powder, it will probably be at least 20 grams of protein in the protein powder. That's typically standard.
Okay. So those are the primary. I have peanut butter, but I won't eat that too often because I thought about trying that on the rice cake, like you told me.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, when I was walking through the store, I was like, so I didn't get it. And then what else do I have?
Yeah, because you're gonna need more. That's not gonna be enough.
Do eggs count?
Yeah, eggs are high in protein, and you'll get fat with your eggs as well. So eggs are tricky. So just whatever the egg that you have, scan it, and it'll probably say 1 whole egg or 2 whole eggs. Or if you're ever just doing just the egg whites, then you can actually measure out the egg whites and put it in.
Large brown eggs. Okay.
How many does it say?
What, like on the serving size? It kind of comes, that's the way it came up.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's 1. How many would you typically eat?
I eat at least 2. Sometimes, like, depending on if I haven't eaten anything else, I'll do 3, but usually 2.
So then you just change your serving size. So far, you've had 48 grams of protein so far.
And how much more do I need?
Your goal is 135.
Jesus.
So you got 87 more.
Are you
to
kidding me?
go. Well, then also too, so
Look, I'm like, what?
so we'll say 67 because your protein powder will have 20.
Yes.
And then yogurt. So I like the Greek Oikos protein yogurt because it has 20 grams of protein in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one for that specific reason. I love that one too. That one's good.
This has 12.
Okay, that works. Yep. So that adds.
Okay. And I do eat this. I try to eat some every day.
Yeah. So throw that in there, girl. That's 12 grams right there.
Not me scrambling it.
It's hard.
Just so I can have food and be like, I did.
Yes. And that's the thing. Once you start tracking your food and being meticulous, you start to realize, like to eat calories healthier is hard. When you're doing whole foods, it's tricky. But if you're just eating BS, then yeah, you can knock out those calories real quick.
So it says on here is
3-4
cups.
Yep, or you can do 170 grams.
Okay.
Cool. Yep. All right.
Scrambling, but this is good because I guess I didn't realize how much protein I was not eating because I'd be thinking, why it's so much protein?
No, and that's the thing too. Like, it's going to depend on your goals for you because you're in weight loss, but you also want to make sure that you're eating enough protein to build the muscle because we need the muscle to fill in the skin. that is a key component. Like Sherretta.
For those of you, well, first of all, everyone knows I don't get embarrassed.
No, she's just
I've been working out. I have muscle. Now I have skin.
You've lost 75 altogether on your own, right?
I think I'm at 85.
That is amazing. So she's basically done all the work. I'm just here just saying, hey, do this, do that, don't do this. So this is the thing. So anytime you are at a point where you are losing a massive amount of body fat, congratulations, that is amazing. However, you need protein because now it's going to be a battle. You need that muscle to push up against that skin to fill it in so that way you have at least amount of loose skin as possible.
Do you track your fitness in your FitnessPal?
I don't.
Because when I did, it took away from the work that I had done with food.
Yeah, and I don't like that my FitnessPal does that. So be aware because there is an option to where you can turn it off. So let's say if have any type of your Apple Watches or anything connected to it, what it'll do is it'll pick up and it'll add those calories back. So if you're supposed to be in a caloric deficit, it's screwing up your whole situation.
And then these numbers will be more because this, okay, so. Well, no, never mind. I just answered my own question in my head. Never mind.
Okay. She's smart.
So it's probably like, this just lunch, but that's not lunch.
No.
So,
yeah.
mind.
And like I say, and then you can separate it out however you want, but this is just so that way you can get a good idea.
Well, this is the food I'm eating this week, so it'll be easier to just go and click to add it in. Okay. What next?
Let's just go ahead and put a protein powder in there so that way we know.
Even though we don't know which one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once you get one, you can just switch it.
Protein powder. I have to drink the whole thing. Yep, that's it. Did it do it? Yeah. Okay.
Yep, perfect. All right, so now you just hit 51. So, how to break down the meals. This is where people get thrown off. A lot of y'all only want to eat 2 or 3 times a day. And let me tell you something. If you are trying to meet a specific protein goal, 2 to 3 meals a day is not going to do it. I tell people 4 small meals a day. I'm a 4 meals, 1 snack kind of girly. Or I'll do 3 big meals and a snack. Again, you got to figure out what works for your body. Like for me, I'm not a normal human being. As soon as my feet touch the ground, I want all the food. My appetite is the biggest in the morning. So I eat a good portion of my calories first thing in the morning. And then for me, as the day goes on, it tapers down.
Mm.
A lot of people are the opposite, where they don't eat as much in the morning, but then as the day goes on, they eat more. I don't like eating more at later on, just simply because it's harder for me to digest.
Mm-hmm.
And people will say, oh, well, you don't want to eat carbs past 7. Carbs don't know what time it is. So it doesn't matter what time you eat the specific macro, but what matters is it doesn't matter if it's noon. If you eat a big old bowl of rice and you lay down, you're going to feel sick. You're not going to feel the greatest. So that's the one thing that I'm more so conscious of, just making sure my last meal isn't too close to bedtime, or if I know I'm going to have a bigger last meal, I like to have a little bit earlier than later.
Do you count your protein shakes as a meal?
I don't. I count them as a snack. I don't like counting protein shakes or anything, because a lot of people like to do it as a meal replacement, and it's not a meal. So it's just like it's a mindset thing. Your protein shakes are not a meal replacement. It's a supplement. It's supplementing into your food.
Okay. I'm already trying to find
with my loophole.
I had a protein shake for breakfast, Amber.
Yeah. So, for example, one of my meals. So, in the morning, I'll have salmon and spinach with oats and berries. And then for lunch, I'll probably do ground turkey, jasmine rice, spinach, probably some more avocado. And then my third meal will be like my snack. So I'll have my protein, I'll probably have some yogurt, and then I'll probably have some chicken breast with it. And then my fourth meal will be like ground beef, sweet potatoes, green beans.
Okay. Oh, isn't granola protein?
Carbs, but it probably and that's the other thing too. So like your almond milk will probably have a little bit of protein in it. Like all those other things from your other, like where like the carb is the main macronutrient. Mm-hmm. For instance, like jasmine rice, like the carb is the main macronutrient, but you might have like maybe 3 grams of protein in there as well. That'll add in. So again, that's why I'm like, with this, I'm not concerned if you don't zero it out 100%, because I know once you add in the other. So let's say if you get down to where you only have like 10 to 15 grams left, that's good.
10. I thought she was gonna say right here is good.
Oh God, no, girl. Like if you still got like 10 to 15 to spare, that's good, because once you add in the other stuff.
Okay. Let's all eat, guys. Backs off camera.
All right, y'all. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I am going to link my macro guide. It's free, so that way, basically, I've had it on here before. It's a macro guide, so that way when you're shopping, you actually understand where your macronutrients are coming from. It'll also help you construct your meals. Best rule of thumb, at every meal, have a carb, protein, and a fat source, all right? So thanks so much for watching. Follow Shay, because she sings beautifully. Follow her on YouTube, because she's been doing you did your 60-day challenge already.
I just finished my 60-day fitness challenge.
Yep, and then if you want to be blessed, go listen to her on Instagram, because her voice is amazing. All right, bye.